Welcome to Rangers Radio on the Matchday show, the world's one and only unique live phone-in show for Rangers supporters all over the world.
There goes my hero. Watch him as he goes.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972, or better still, click the Skype button at the top of the Rangers Radio homepage and come in live. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Well, good evening and welcome to Rangers Radio. Joining myself up here on the panel tonight for this pre-match show is the one and only Bridgeman, who will give you the team.
I don't have the team. I don't have the team, pal. I wanted to try to go.
It's Foderingham, Tavernier, Martin, Bates,
right.
John Holt, Goss, Murphy, Candias, Windass and Morelos. Substitute Alwick, Cummings, Herrera, Halliday, Hodgson, Cardozo and Crankier.
Well done.
Yeah, so the rumours about Danny Wilson that have started surfacing today could be true, Bridge.
Yeah, I heard from another source today that Wilson was in fact thinking about a move, probably for the last couple of months. But that was before, I think that was just before he started to have a wee purple patch. So we could be the losers out of that, you know. I don't mean money-wise, but
look,
if
I've got a simple view, Bridge. If somebody doesn't want to be there,
absolutely.
let them go.
Absolutely.
So if you want to give us a call and discuss the team, how you think the game will go, I see it's a 4-4-2. Give us a call on 0141 356 1972 or join us at Skype at Rangers Radio Online. Or Old School Blues, Glamorous Assistant will bring you into the call. So, how do you see it lining up, Bridge? Are you the same, or do you see it with...
Yeah, I think 4-4-2.
With the two wide men, mate, I don't see how... And then you've got Holt and Goss midfield, and maybe Windass would drop in there to give you an extra man to help, but then obviously Morales is an out-and-out striker.
Yeah, you could have a variation of that. You could go like, 4-1-4-1, for instance, you know, if you wanted to. But
who's your one then? Obviously Goss, and who's your four across the middle then?
My 4 across the middle would be basically. I haven't even seen it. Believe it or not, I'm on the Rangers website and I can't see the team. Believe it or not.
Well, it's a top article. But these drugs, mate, I'm going to have a word with your doctor.
Aye, good man. 4 changes there. It's there.
I don't see it, Blue Shadows, a 4-1-4-1, because that would mean your middle of midfields, Holt and Windass. I would say 4-4-1-1 at a touch, but it's all the same thing. Get the ball, pass it to somebody with your colour of strip shirt, Bridge, and put it in the net.
Aye, absolutely.
You know?
I think the way, how can we say this? I think the way it's been set out, one of the boys had got it in there. So do you think we're going to play No, it'll be Tavernier, Martin, Bates and John, right? That's your back four.
That's your 4.
Foderingham the goalkeeper.
Well done, Bridge. Foderingham's the goalkeeper, yep.
Yeah, okay, pal. And I would have Goss and as a direct replacement for young McCrory, insofar as his ability to sort of bolster things at the back. Then I would have Holt and Candias.
Well,
that's what. Murphy and Candias as the 2 wide men. Sorry.
Aye. Yep.
And Holt up through the middle there, basically, bolstering them. And above them would be Windass and Morelos. But it could be that 4. It could be 4-1-4-1. You know, it could be there. It'd be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah. So if anybody's got any thoughts on the team, give us a phone on 0141 356 1972 or join us at Skype at Rangers Radio Online. A shame about Danny Wilson. I don't think Graham Murray deserves that, because he's been the backer of Danny Wilson. Brought him back into the team, got his form. He's had some good games. Parkhead was good. I remember the Tynecastle game. I thought, Murrayfield game, he was excellent. But if you were wanting to sign him on the Kilmarnock performance, well, that's a different thing altogether.
Yeah, I honestly think that I haven't heard what the latest is on Danny Wilson, whether in fact he's asked for something or
We
told
don't
the
know
club
yet.
he wants to go away.
It'll come out in the wash. So we'll go Goss playing, Jamie Murphy playing, Martin playing. So
Is he carrying an injury? Is he carrying an injury, Oxtia?
Who?
Wilson.
Well, it'll all come out in the wash. Anyway, we'll be
All right,
joined by
okay.
the global ambassador, Big Al. How are we doing, Big Al?
Not bad, gentlemen. How are you this evening? You
All
got
right,
the game,
mate.
Bridge?
He failed the fitness test. He failed the fitness test, yeah.
I failed it badly.
I'll not tell you
you'll
about
be
the
fine,
fitness.
man, eh?
I'll not tell you about the fitness test, but Mrs. Bridge wasn't happy at all.
It involved a big spoon. What's the team? What's the team?
All right, it's Foderingham, Tavernier, Martin and Bates, Declan John, that's the back four. Goss, Holt, Candias, Murphy, Windass and Morales. So obviously the talking point is Danny Wilson, yeah?
He's murder anyway, isn't he? He's had a wee bit of form lately, but up to that, I mean, Nunes would have gave him the time of day, I don't think. I think if he goes, he goes. I don't know, it's not really going to bother me. But I thought it would have been Wilson and Bates, but it's good to see then that Bates is in. I like Big Bates. So that's good. So what's that? How many changes is that? Four changes? 4 changes.
Obviously Martin's come in. Goss has come in, Murphy's come in. And for the start, Bates is starting. Obviously he was substitute the last game, yeah?
So it's only 3 new players really?
I'm getting it. All the new starters bar Cummings, who's on the bench, are starting.
I don't know, would you have thought four new changes would have been too much? I would have preferred a change up the park than in defence, but it needs must in defence. So no, it's a positive team. I think we'll win the game. I don't know how much or how handsomely by, but I think we'll win the game tonight. But I would have liked to have seen Cummins on for the start, as you kind of discussed yesterday, and that, and joys and enthusiasm. And I think that's infectious for the team. So that's my disappointment. I would have liked to have seen him start from the beginning.
You need to go and mute, mate. You're typing. We need to sort that man out. He's as high as a kite. He's really looking forward to the game, ain't you, Mr. Bridgeman?
I'm indeed, pal. You're absolutely right. Right.
It's like the summer holidays ending, isn't it? But it's a long time. It's nearly a month, mate.
It's a long time. I was saying that last night. 3.5 weeks or something like that before it's the last time we saw them playing. And a meaningful game, of course, I mean. Scary. I'm quite happy.
We did beat the champions of Brazil right enough, you know.
That was meaning from a competitive perspective in a real competition that was relevant to us. And I think that it shows how much this last game that we missed there, the cup game being called off, that could be absolutely crucial. Because that could make a difference of, are the players that wee yard quicker, half a yard quicker, or have they lost it? Are they still trying to get it? That kind of thing, And obviously, we need to be at a level playing field with everybody else from a fitness perspective. Actually, being Rangers, we should be better than most,
I mean, the fitness shouldn't be an issue, Bridge. It should be, you can maybe see new players gelling together, etc., lack of competitive games, but fitness shouldn't be an issue.
I would imagine not, but all I'm meaning is that it's not just fitness. It's the match fitness. It's the usual stuff.
Sorry to cut across you, mate. We've got a couple of callers coming in.
Go on, go for it.
Evening, callers.
Evening.
I've got Blue Shadow. Did I hear about Sloyle?
Is that Dynasty Falcon Crest there? Dallas.
Oh, did you hear that, Al?
I was walking back yesterday, back into that classroom, man. Man. Top man. He isn't that daft. He's putting that on. That's an act.
Oh, he couldn't be that daft. Ibrox, are you there?
I'm here, mate. How you doing?
Are you sorted?
All the best, Ibrox.
That's me, mate. I'm at Bistro just now. I just came out of the loud nearly now, so...
Well, he's been and gone. You've missed him.
Nah.
Be there for 6:45, he said.
No, just texting, mate, so... How you doing, lads, alright?
Alright, we've got another caller, Ibrox. I don't know who it is. Evening, caller.
Hi, it's George. How you doing? All right?
Alright, George, how you doing, mate? What do you think of the team?
Well, the team I'd picked apart for Wilson and Bates, like that's the exact team I'd picked. I think you said last night about wee Windass ripping him a new one in the Bath game, so I definitely started with him. I mean, he's not my favourite player in the world, but I definitely start with him. Going forward, I would definitely go with a 4-4-2, but I think that's as strong as team as we can possibly put out tonight. I mean, who do you think the captain will be tonight? Ox Martin?
Martin, mate. I think that's it. I think obviously, well, the rumours are broke today about Danny Wilson, and whether if it is, it seems to be true, mate. That they're saying, well, if you don't want to sign, you don't play. You know.
That's it. Aye. So that was the only thing I was wondering who'd be the captain tonight. I'm maybe about 25 minutes away from Ibrox and Newlink, so traffic is absolutely horrendous. Just seen a sign there saying 8 mile slow traffic, so I'll be there in time for kick-off. So I'm buzzing for the game tonight.
Where are you?
I'm only 74, just right in line with the midden. Like if I don't know why I turn around and look at it, but I'm right in line with the midden. 74.
Alright, okay. You'll make it. You don't fancy taking up that suicide bomber job? Just driving there while it's empty?
Didn't tempt me. He's saying daft things like that to me, that's why I get the bother up.
I know, and mean, George. Everybody knows we're only kidding. We're only kidding. No, Al, we can't say that. That would be an awful shame.
Oh, wait a minute, you started it.
That would be an awful shame.
That'd be an awful shame, eh?
Blue Shadow, what's your thoughts on the team?
What's this quick change of subject?
Hurry up, we've got another caller coming in on the phone. Need your thoughts.
Take the caller on the phone, mate. Take the caller on the phone.
Alright. Evening, caller.
Shadow, you any spare belt?
Who's coming in on the call?
It's on the travel rig.
Alright, you go and
away.
Right. Well, if you go into the stadium this new, you might manage to sing all the verses of the national anthem.
All I'm doing is I'm putting up to kill Ibrox while I'm on my way, mate. I'll look at you, don't worry.
You watch it through.
You're lucky for me, thank you, Uncle Travel.
By the way, he was a big Dallas fan. Blue Shadow, here's your thoughts on the team.
I just had another look at it. It actually looks like a 4-2-3-1, doesn't it?
I don't see that, mate. I just don't see that.
Well, I don't see the personnel he's picked. I don't agree with it at all. But you know, I think that looking at it, I think he's putting Holt in it alongside Goss. He's done it. He's done it with McCrory before. Who's that?
Ibrox.
All right, how you doing, mate?
You need to hang up, mate. All the wind's going right through the call.
Is that a jet?
Sorry,
is that jet taking off to Dallas? Oof.
Carry on, Blue Shadow.
Aye. He's putting Holt in that defensive midfield bit before, so I don't see why he hasn't done it again. And then having the Windass in the middle behind Morelos and Candias and Murphy either side of him.
For me, the Windass is the key, because him running at their centre-backs the last time, they couldn't handle it, yeah?
I mean, the whole thing is, was he going to play one? The whole thing tonight was he going to play one or two up top? That really was the key as to what he was going to play. I thought he'd play Halliday rather than Holt up top, because he's just that bit more combative. I know wee Holt runs around like a wee dynamo all the time, but he's no the ball winner that Halliday is for me.
Obviously, Jason Holt's not getting the physicality. I mean, you can't fault his work ethic. He's all over the part. He works hard. He tries to make things happen, but
as I said, as I've said before with Jason Holt, mate, he can run around all he likes, but we could probably get Lindsay Sharp to do it. It should look a lot better doing it.
With more style, aye.
Yeah,
it's all about end product, isn't it?
It is at the end of the day. If we, as I said before a few weeks ago, if Jason Holt had either a ball-winning capability or the ability to produce an end ball through to the strikers, then yes, he's a great part of the team. But just running around, it's just not enough for me.
Bridge, any thoughts? midfield game, won and lost in the midfield.
Oh, that's where the battle's going to be. It's going to be in the midfield, and we better be up our game. I think I could see Windass coming back to give the five, shall we say, across the middle if necessary. But that's why I'm saying maybe 4-4-1-1. You know, that kind of thing. They might go for the diamond, but I don't see the personnel there that can play the diamond. But I've been wrong before, you know. But delightful to see. I'm quite happy with Windass and Morelos up there. They're trusted. So the second half's going to be absolutely key. Providing we don't have any injuries and the manager can do the selection he needs, then you might see some nice changes in the second half when we're 1 or 2-0 up.
Oh, that'll do me, Bridge.
Absolutely. Do me all right.
That'll do me. George, you still with us? Travel Rug? Oh, we've lost the callers.
I'm here.
All right, okay. What's your thoughts on the team, mate?
Disappointed with Blue Shadows' summary of Jason Holt. I think he's a far better player than what Blue Shadows been in there. I think that's pretty unfair on the wee man. I know a lot of people think he wins a lot, but I think there's a lot better Jason Holt than that. So he's the more of that credit. He's never bad-mouthed the club when he got put out the team, left out the team, and obviously forgotten about the last couple of managers. Whenever he's came and done a job. So let's get behind the players.
You can't fault his attitude, mate. I don't think Blue Shadow was, but how do you see he's lining up?
The thing, the Danny Wilson thing, I think it's obvious that Danny Wilson's trying to get himself a move away. If he's asking for a lot more than what Rangers are willing to pay him. The biggest thing about it for me is, you've told me the team that Bates is playing instead of Wilson. I'm not actually that worried about it, you know. It's not a big drama for me, so maybe that tells Danny Wilson more about what we think of him. And what his, I don't know if he's got a wee bit of inflated opinion of himself about...
if you're playing up against Rooney, who would you rather have?
If
you're playing up against Rooney, who would you rather have? Danny Wilson up against Rooney?
Everybody's talking about Stephen Bates. I remember the week. Danny Wilson, remember that. Danny Wilson, remember. I know everybody's talking about Stephen Bates. I remember that club done for him. Danny Wilson wants to remember that as well. He gave him a move to Liverpool. He gets his move away somewhere.
Listen, Travel Rug, if the rumours are true, if he doesn't want to be there, on you go, son. I'm not happy. Listen, Travel Rug, if the rumours are true, if he doesn't want to be there,
I'll get back to it. When you said
on you go, son. I'm not happy.
That's fine. Again, I'll get back to it. When you said
I think he'd be quite a loss to the club now because he's playing really well, you know. I think he'll be. I think he would be. We have to agree. I think he'd be quite a loss to the club now because he's playing really well, you know. Obviously, we have to agree. If he doesn't want to be there, he doesn't want to be there. Now we can do, you know.
He's got to a purple patch wasn't great. Rugby Park, Travel Rug. You keep going about that. You've always been as good as that. So
his purple patch wasn't great. Rugby Park, Travel Rug. But it was a whole game. It wasn't just the goals they lost. It was a whole game, mate. Obviously, you've got a different surface.
He was running against St Johnstone as well, Oxford.
Aye.
No, I don't have a problem. What I was going to say was, I'm hoping that on the light of the wee snippet of news that we've heard tonight, and I don't want to add any into it because I don't know enough, but as it becomes more and more crucial that we do, in fact, get young Bates re-signed, for instance, you know, because we don't want to be having to go out and start to look for desperately looking for centre halves and things like that. We want to be able to do the job right, you know.
Spot on, Bridgeman. Any thoughts, Big Al?
I agree with all the guys, and I must retract what I said earlier because Parkhead's never full. So
fair comment, Al. Fair comment, mate. Yeah, comment for you.
Well, I'm not worried. I'm not worried.
It was full. It full when the Commonwealth Games were there, mate.
They were all there to see the Queen, weren't they?
Aye.
That just shows you. look, is it no speculation and paper talk anyway? Because has anything came out for the club that he's not going to say?
Nothing, mate. But they're not going to say that, are they?
No, I know. So we're kind of talking here. We don't really know the facts. You see, I've seen a thing in the paper today.
It's not the first time I've done that on this show, mate. Talking when we don't know the facts.
I think one of the big worries is that if he, the mere fact that he isn't even in the squad, right? So either he's carrying a wee injury, or something else has happened within the club, and he's made that decision. Right. He's maybe made it known to the powers that be, and they've said, right, yeah, your head's no in it. You need to do a dumbbelly thing, Take him out the equation altogether before you get your 50 million quid for him,
Well, get rid of him then. That's as simple as that.
I think that's what Ox is meaning. And somewhere along the line, we don't know what's happened. And if he wants to go away, then he could go away with a blessing. The problem is he has been playing last few games. He started to hit a wee bit of form, and really and truly, we could do with everybody having a bit of form. And with the new guys that were brought in, put Wilson in among them, and if you have a bit of form, everybody hits form, it'd be great. We would be good. Remember he scored the goal, scored a cracking goal for us.
Aye.
Against Aberdeen last time, remember?
Games, and then he scored. He scored for 2 weeks in a row, didn't he? So look, right. He's not great. He's not great shake for me. Like he's played a few good games, and I think we get carried away with ourselves. I've heard that. I listened to a couple of other podcasts and all that, and it's the same. Like he's Danny Wilson. You're not going to get a consistency. He's not going to get to another level that you can say he's a top man. So I'm glad Bates is there. My take on it. I'd get as many of the young fellas on the team as possible. This maybe elevate young Aidan Wilson. Is it Aidan Wilson?
Yeah, he might move up one.
Well, if he goes, he certainly will. So no, I have no problem.
Does it matter to you if he's left-footed? Does it matter to you that he's left-footed? Because it's nice to be a balance.
He's a left footer anyway, isn't he?
Well, you know what I mean. He actually plays.
Aye. No, it doesn't matter to me at all. It doesn't matter to me at all. A good player.
Did you see that as a problem? I know in an ideal world, Bridge, you have one left, one right at the back, but
no, just for balance, nothing else, just for balance.
But the vast majority of time, you played with two right-footed centre halves because that was the majority.
There wasn't very many left-footed players, was there really? But it just so happens that we've got like young Declan John and Lee Wallace, natural left-footed, and someone else complementing that on the left-hand side of the defence wouldn't be that bad. However, if we don't have it, we don't have it. It's not a big problem. Not to me.
There's far more better players that play in that position that are right-footed. They're far better than him. So I don't think it matters whether you're left or right-footed. If you're a good player, you're a good player. If you play your position well, you play your position well. I was going to say as well, I read something this morning in regards to Morale. This is mere paper talk, isn't it? Because the translation and when the translate, it's totally different to what he said.
They're trying to sell our team for under us in the papers, that is. They're trying to do that. Just demoralise us. That's all they're trying to do.
Listen, I mean, I think what he said, and I don't know if you've read it, Blue Shadow, about he could move eventually to the Premier League. I don't think anybody, the footballers in the UK at the moment, that's no surprise to anybody, is it?
No, that's not a surprise, no.
Blue Shadow?
Right. Morelos, he's a young lad yet. He's got a lot of development to do. Is he Premiership standard at the minute? I'd probably say not. Could he be? Yes, but he's got an awful lot of work to do if he thinks he's going to get himself into the Premiership. Because with the money that's available in there, then they can go almost anywhere in the world and pick up a top-notch striker. And so he's going to have to look at it. As regards Danny Wilson, as I've said innumerable times in the past, I think his attitude is his main problem. It's just the past, and I said a few weeks ago, is it just coincidence that his contract's due for renewal in the summer and he started playing? Because before that, he was just a total waste of time to me. I wouldn't even had him on the subs bench. I'd have put one of the kids on because his attitude was that bad. But that's just my opinion.
What I will say, Blue Shadow, I think he's been decent in the big games, but he's been particularly average in some of the the defeats we've had when we've been playing some of the so-called smaller teams.
I did, as I said before, he seems to be better when he thinks he's the main man. This is when he plays alongside Bruno Alves. When Bruno first came in, he was absolutely terrible, and that's why the likes of Bates and as well as injury, but that's why the likes of Bates and McCrory came through, because it's just like you could see at one point, Pedro just had no trust in him whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
So
who's on the bench?
Well, I'll give you that, mate. If you just remind me, I've got it up my
Here
sleeve.
we go. It's Cummings, Herrera, Halliday, Cranchar, Hodgson, Cardoso, Anik.
The bench doesn't sound that good, does it?
Well,
there's a few players there that we don't say we want to get rid of. Cranchar, Alves.
Alves isn't there.
Hodgson.
Did you not say Alves is on the bench?
Alwick, the goalie.
Oh, Alwick, sorry, mate.
Sorry, I called it Anik. Like the place.
You know, so I mean, it's a more experienced bench than we've had in the past. Obviously, the three new signings come right into teams that ultimately push three boys out the bench. I mean, you've got Cardozo's your cover for your centre backs, Hodgson for both full backs, Halliday and Cranchar for your midfield, and then you get Herrera and Cummins for the forward area. So I can see sense in the substitutes there. Bridgman?
Well, we've got one trump card anyway. It's Cummins.
Yeah, Mr. Cummins. I think it's written in the stars for him tonight. Bridgman?
Did you read the thing in the paper? Sorry.
You go out?
I'd never seen it in his interview, but there was a good couple of lines in one of the paper interviews that said to him about all my family's for that side, either Hearts or Rangers. So that bodes well for a young man.
There was a wee snippet broken one of the forums. I don't know if it was Rangers media saying a supposed quote from him saying that he did go and see the Rangers. He used to go and see the Rangers when he was younger.
Aye.
So I don't know how true it is.
Right.
Obviously, if it's a quote, then some of the horse's mouth, then you can only believe him. You don't want to say he's a liar, do you? But if it was a paper that's saying it on his behalf, then it could be anything, couldn't it? They could make up.
So when does he come on, and where is the change? Is it a straight swap for Morelos, or is it that change of formation and we go 4-4-2?
Do you know something now? I'm going to tell you something. That's, I think, one of the mistakes that Warburton always made, and I'm going to go to Boy Shadow. It's the game and injuries that should dictate your substitute. No play-made plan. Yeah. You understand that.
Yeah, I understand.
In modern football, I think every manager that during the game should use 13 players and always have at least one up his sleeve, particularly in a cold game. Bridge, you're tight, mate. Bridge. And but the game and injuries should dictate your subs. Blue Shadow.
Oh, Warburton was just playing into the opposition hands, because not only was it a pre-planned substitution on 60 minutes, he was bringing on two players. It was also two players. It wasn't changing the system at all. It was exactly the same. Mm-hmm. If he was being totally outgunned in midfield, as in like 5 against 3, and our 3. I think I said the other week, and we had 3 people up the top of the pitch, and they may as well not have been there because we couldn't get the ball to them. That was one of the worst ones with Warburton. Pedro was sort of the micromanager, and I could never quite work out what he was going to do. He was actually trying to achieve. But recently, Murray has started changing it up a bit if he sees things, and I think as well. I think Jimmy Nicholl's going to be a big help to him. It's like, look, they've got 3 at the back here. If we do like this, that, and the next thing, then if we put 3 up top, up on their people, then they can't risk us getting man on man with their defence and stuff like that. Perhaps different ways of more tactically astute, perhaps.
Just tweaks, mate, because it's a simple game, isn't it? Al? It's not that complicated.
Yeah. But I'm sorry, I maybe I've not came across right. I think it's important that he has game time. And all I was asking was, obviously, if Morelos isn't scored, but there's always a chance of Morelos scoring. So, do you sub him straight for Morelos, or do we leave Morelos on the park and we have a slight formation change in regards to Windass? So, I don't know, but
it depends how. If one does just play,
I'd like to have seen him getting game time. Yeah, look, but you can't honestly say that Windass is a better player than Cummins. That's what I'm looking at here. Is we've got good players. I'd like to see every one of my good players on the park.
But the trouble with Jason Cummings is he's very similar to Morelos. Yeah.
He's a good player. I think they could complement each other, and I think he could. I said the other day, I don't think you were on the show, but I think he could play that kind of shadow striker role as well, and allowing him to get into the box for nose deep up the park. He's closer to it. No, you don't think so?
No, for me, I mean, I would, as I said the other night, I'd have gone with the 4-4-2 diamond on and played the pair of them, because what's the point in buying them if you're not going to play them as a pair? Because it's a striker. Rather than having the shadow striker, I'm trying to think of a polite way of putting it, if you take my hint. It's a load of rubbish. And what I think one of the problems with Mr. Murty is the fact that he's a little bit on the conservative side. He's a bit, he tends to play it safe a wee bit. Nothing necessarily wrong with that, but for me, against this lot tonight, I'd have gone for it, and I'd have put the two of them, and I would have put Windass in behind them and run them ragged, and then if that's not working, then change it. And then we could have had. There's room for Halliday on the pitch and Holt and what's his name, the new boy Goss as well. But that's the way the manager's chosen to go for it. But still, at the same point, it's with everything, it swings and roundabouts, because that way you would have had neither Murphy nor Candeas on the pitch. But what will what will Windass, Candeas, and Murphy offer defensively?
Murphy and Candeas plays like he did against at Parkhead, mate. His effort, he would be in the team every week, mate. You would want Candeas playing every week and be happy if he was there. I thought he was superb at Celtic Park.
If he's in the mood for it,
that's the problem.
It's the thing. Like most wingers I've ever seen in my life, it depends what mood they're in, or how it's going for them, I mean, going back, one of the, the person that's touted as one of the greatest Rangers players of all time, if Davy Cooper, if he was in the mood or this wasn't going for him, he may as well not have been on the pitch.
Oh, but these centre-halves are moodier, aren't they, Bridge?
I find that midfielders are really, really moody people. particularly being Yaffy ones,
It's just the culture within this, so you see, Bridgman, that's what it is.
Well, I tried to say this the other night. You've got players, people who can actually play football, who can actually love to have the ball at their feet. No, I'm saying anyone who loves the ball at their feet and likes to beat people, dribble, call it what you like, be in a position to
that's the game. That's what the game's all about.
That's exactly what it's all about. If you've got something like that, they should be relished in your team, and you've got to look out for them. They're the people you've got to try and nurture, and you've got to protect as much as possible. Other than that, somebody's going to come in and clog them, for sure.
Well, Shadow, I've looked at his stats. 3 seasons he went, he never kicked the ball once. Bridgeman. One of these seasons he get player of the year.
You've got to remember, it's all about, it's about of a time, I mean, Bridgeman used to play with it, the football was hairy. When you when it was made out of mammoth.
Brilliant.
Can I just say one thing I meant to say to you during the week? I listened to a really good documentary about that Jimmy Armfield.
Fantastic.
I don't know. I've always liked him. I didn't obviously know him as a player. You'll know him as a schoolboy, Bridge, but I always liked him when he spoke about football on 5 Live on the BBC and that. So I'd just like to say God bless him, because he was such a good football man. And if you've got a chance to listen to it, it's on the BBC podcast. Really good insight for when he was a young boy, right through talking about that. Really good for any football fan, actually. Really good
absolute gentleman to listen to his commentary and his punditry on the game. I mean, a true, full international captain of England. You don't get much higher in world football, to be perfectly honest with you. And everybody respected what he said, and he had his own way about him, how he saw things. maybe slightly different. But nobody's going to turn around and say Jimmy Anfield didn't know anything about football. The guy was a genius. He was just brilliant. Just brilliant. And very sad, I agree with you, it's a very sad he's passing.
Aye, but it was certainly a football man, so if anyone's got a chance, have a wee listen to it, man, because it goes straight through when he's like the war and all that, and talking about his dad, and then right up to when he was, I think it was under 21s, he was playing, and then getting planes here, there, and everywhere to join England first squad, and then talking about him and Alf Ramsey, the relationship, and the other players coming into the team, he got the bad. It's really, really good, so. Sorry to digress, guys. If you've got a chance, have a good listen to it. It's brilliant for any football fan.
You're not digressing now because you're speaking of one of the finest guys, but one of the finest footballers ever lived. Jimmy Anfield was a star, an absolute star of his day. And that's the truth.
What effect do you think the ref's going to have in the game tonight? Because that was one of the things I was thinking about earlier.
He shouldn't have any effect. He should be in about them.
Aye.
He should be in about them. We're at home.
As long as they're cheating beating. As long as they're cheating beating.
He'll not get 2 games in a row. Well, right enough. That was a lovely back Keeley done last night.
That was incredible. What a bit of footage that is. That's fantastic. Wow.
I heard it was that, what do you call it, Bobby Madden. The one thing I was going to say, he does tend to let things go too far before he actually puts it, starts pulling people up for me, and that's how we get players injured. The first
he won't book anyone until it's a Rangers player, that's for sure.
And Rangers
player will be first to book.
People start going flying into tackles. You didn't have to put them straight in the boot. You just haul them up to the side and like stand in front of me, sunshine, and then tear a strip after them.
I've got a slightly different view. I think if it's a yellow card or a red card, it doesn't matter if it's the first minute or last minute.
Aye, that's fair enough. Fair enough. Aye, but get it before it gets to that stage.
Something that's maybe close, you can have a word and they accept all that stuff. But if it's a yellow card, I'll give you the one. Like the boy Adua we've been talking about the last couple of nights, talking about Colts and etc. The boy made the tackle against him against Livingston, first minute of the game. It was a straight red card.
I mean, the thing is as well, even call like they do in rugby, get the captains across. Any more like that, and they're going straight in the bloody book, and then just send them all away, So because I know somebody who refereed not at the SFA level, but just below it, and he certainly put up with no nonsense, and he got no nonsense off him either. I think we need stronger referees in this country. Otherwise, good players are not going to stay up here. They're going to, first opportunity to get south and get away from these thugs, they'll be away. Hello,
Paul. Can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Any thoughts, Al?
About referees?
Right.
It doesn't bother me. He has to be there for obvious reasons, but I think you just play your game and score goals. And if you score goals, the referee can't do nothing. You know what I mean? You scored goals, man. I was just watching the highlights of the last game up at Petard. That Windus's goal was a good goal, enough, wasn't it?
Well, was Danny Wilson Cedar?
It was indeed.
I wasn't wanting to say that, but I just seen that too. Anyway, that's what it is. Referees, look, score goals, win the game. The referees shouldn't matter, to me.
All right, Big Al,
tackles in.
Big Al, give us a prediction, mate, and tell us what you think. And
I'm not into predictions, but I'm a wee bit disappointed.
Would you take 1-0?
Of course I would. Aye.
So
yes,
I would take 1-0, mate. It's that kind of game for me. It's all about
I just want a good display. Now we're back to the big money games. The pressure's back on Murray, so Mr. Murray will see how he handles this. But it's a very, very important game. We have to go off that flyer.
Use your thoughts, please, Shadow.
I'm looking for. We're going to have to get a performance or a shift. Let's put a shift in the night in midfield. I think as a couple of you have said earlier, that's going to hold the key to this tonight. So, and I'm looking forward as well to seeing Sean Goss and his how he uses the ball the night when from defensive midfield. So, a good shift from the players and 2-0 for the Rangers.
Aye. Sean Goss and Jamie Murphy And the boy Martin, we wish them all the best for their debut. Bridgeman?
Yeah, I'm going for a 1-0. 1-0 will do me, or the odd goal, shall we say. I don't see it being 3-0.
I'd take that, Brad. I'd take that.
Yeah. Obviously, I want more. I do want more. I do hope that the new players come in and show what they've got. I'm really disappointed that Danny Wilson, on the height of his, shall we say, his good play for us, reached a really good level. And I'm sad to hear that he doesn't want. He's not playing for us tonight.
Allegedly.
He's not playing for us tonight. Could be carrying a wee injury, so I'm sad about that. But other than that, to me, the team looks good. I'll be quite happy when we start. Let's see how we do when we start, and we have to get into them. But we have to be extremely careful. We've got two wide players. We need to let the wide players do their job, and we don't need Tavernier or Declan John running all the way up to the opposition's byline and then just giving the ball away type thing. We don't need any of that. Just keep your place, watch your position, and get on your man and put him out the game. Simple as that. Just play the game. You
want your fullbacks to be fullbacks, your wingers to be wingers. Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm thinking we should be doing initially, and then we'll see how we get on. And once you know yourself,
you win your battles, mate. You win your battles.
That's it.
Win your battles. Listen, this has been Rangers Radio. Can I thank everybody who phoned in for the phones? I know there was a lot of interference with the wind, but thanks to the lads, thanks to George, Ur Ibrox and the one and only Travel Rog, Big Alfie, what about for Oz, Bridgeman and Blue Shadow. Thanks to the Old School for putting this show on, along with his glamorous assistant. Before the match, we'll be back approximately 15 minutes. It's around about 10 o'clock for the after-match show. We've only one thing to say, aren't we, Bridge? Come on, the Rangers. Take it away, Old School Blue.
Get into them.
I call you, I need you, my heart's on fire. You come to me wild and wild. You come to me, give me everything I need. Give me a lifetime of promises and a world of dreams. Speak the language of love like you know what it means. And it can't be wrong. Take my heart and make it strong, babe. You're simply the best. Better than all the rest. Better than anyone I've ever met. I'm stuck on your heart. I hang on every word you say. Tear us apart. Baby, I would rather be dead. In your heart's in the stars.